So I heard you have an AI model and you're trying to connect an API or database to it. You're in the right spot. Let's get started. With Voiceflow, we can immediately drag in a message block and ask the user for their employee ID. Now, once we do ask them for it, we can store their input as an entity. Entities are like variables where we can store user information. So let's go over to listen, capture, and let's create an entity. In this case, we want our entity to have a value of number. Now, once we do ask them for their employee ID, we can send this information over to our API block and use it to query against our API for employee data. So let's just drag over an API block here and let's set it up real quick. So with the API block and Voiceflow, we can select what kind of request we want. We can set any kind of headers, parameters, and we can even capture the responses. So let's begin off by sending a request to the JSON placeholder API, and let's query against their users endpoint. Users, and then we can put in a variable. So in our situation, the variable is going to be employee ID that we have asked the user for. And so it's going to fetch that data. We don't have any headers or parameters, and we can capture the response as objects. So by default, you want to get the attributes of the response value. So the response object that is returned. Response.name, and we can create like employee name. So sometimes our API requests can fail. So let's make sure we have a backup message. But in this situation that it is good and we do get a response status of 200, so we do get data back from our API, let's let the user know, hey, we got your data. And we can set up an AI agent to take in the data from your API and converse with the user. We can select one from the prompt, or you can create your own. Let's just create our own for now, a simple agent. Okay, we are good to go. Great, so let's go ahead and test out our AI agent. So my employee ID is 3. Okay, we got your data. Great, so I already have my employee information down and I can continue conversing with it. And just like that, we've been able to connect our AI agent with an API.